All right, let's dive in. I want you to imagine a world where monsters can get promotions, gods have to file paperwork, and immortality, well, it isn't something you're born with, it's a career path you have to work for. Today, we are opening the door to the wonderfully weird and surprisingly organized universe of Chinese folklore.
So let's start with this question, because it gets right to the heart of it. Forget everything you think you know about chaotic, wild, untamable monsters. In a lot of Chinese mythology, the spiritual world is less about random acts of divine power and more about, well, a celestial bureaucracy.
And to really get our heads around this, we have to start with the core philosophy. You can think of it like a completely different operating system than most Western myths. And that changes everything about how you make heroes, monsters, and even gods.
And this right here, this slide just nails it. In a lot of Western stories, right, being a demigod or a gorgon is all about who your parents are. It's in your DNA. But in the Chinese tradition, power is something you can actually achieve. Your destiny isn't locked in by your birthright, it's a career path.
So this idea that you have to earn your power, that introduces one of the most important concepts in this whole world. It's a long, super difficult process, but it's open to pretty much any living thing and, believe it or not, even some non-living ones. The process is called cultivation, or shusheng. The way it works is, you have to imagine the universe is just full of this spiritual energy, kind of like ambient radiation. If a creature, or heck, even an old teapot, learns how to absorb that energy over hundreds or thousands of years, it can literally level up its own existence. And here's the cosmic career ladder. It's perfect. You could start out as just a regular fox, but with enough dedicated cultivation, you become a jing, an essence spirit. Keep going, you evolve into a yao. Now this is often translated as demon, but it's better to think of it as a powerful supernatural being, one with its own goals. And if you do enough good deeds and keep at it, you can finally ascend and become a shan, an immortal. It is a true cosmic meritocracy. This comparison just illustrates the difference so brilliantly. Medusa, she had absolutely no choice in her fate. But the famous white snake from Chinese legend, she was just a regular snake who through 1,000 years of dedicated study transformed herself into this powerful, immortal being who is capable of magic and even love. One is a sentence, the other is a graduation. Okay, so if everybody and everything is trying to climb this ladder, who's in charge, right? Who manages all these ambitious spirits? Well, this is where it gets really, really unique. Heaven is literally organized like a massive corporation. Or a government. I mean, just look at this cosmic org chart. You've got the Jade Emperor up at the top. He's the CEO. Then you have layers of middle management. Every city has its own city god, who's basically a spiritual regional manager, filing reports on what's going on. Below them, you've got the land gods, kind of like the neighborhood watch. The point is, everybody has a boss, everybody has performance reviews, and everybody has to report up the chain of command.
And yep, even the afterlife is part of this system. The underworld isn't some fiery pit of eternal damnation. No, it's more like a cosmic immigration office. Your soul arrives, a judge reviews the good and bad deeds of your life, and then you get your paperwork stamped and you're sent off to your next life. It's all surprisingly orderly.
So you have a system that's based on personal growth and a whole lot of paperwork. What does that do to our ideas of good and evil? Well, this is where things get really interesting and the lines get very, very blurry. You see, in a lot of Western stories, a monster's just a monster, an obstacle for the hero to defeat. But here, a demon, or yao, might be on a quest for love, or maybe trying to repay a kindness from a past life. A ghost isn't something you call a team to bust. It's probably a protective ancestor looking out for you. Really, the only spirits causing real trouble are the hungry ghosts, the ones who've been forgotten by their families. Redemption is always on the table. So now that we kind of have the rules of the game down, let's meet a few of the world's most famous residents. You're going to see these figures pop up again and again in movies, video games, and stories today. First up, the Jiangshi. The closest Western equivalent is probably a zombie or a vampire. The Jiangshi is a reanimated corpse, and it's stiff with rigor mortis, so it has to hop instead of walk. And its most iconic feature? That paper talisman stuck to its forehead, which is usually placed there by a Taoist priest to keep it under control. Next, we have the fox spirits. After centuries of cultivation, these beings are masters of shape-shifting. They often appear as beautiful men or women, or sometimes as wise old scholars. But here's the thing. They're not just simple tricksters or seducers.
Their stories are almost always these incredibly complex tales of love, loyalty, and serious moral questions.
And of course, we have to talk about the dragon. And this is so important. Forget everything you think you know about giant, winged, fire-breathing lizards that hoard gold. The Chinese dragon, the Long, is a divine, benevolent creature. It's this beautiful, serpentine god of water and weather, the one who brings rain for the crops. It's a symbol of incredible luck and sacred power. It's something you want to see, not something you slay.
Okay, so we've got cultivation, we've got bureaucracy, we've got this complex morality, but there is one single overarching law that binds all of it together, from the tiniest little spirit all the way up to the Jade Emperor himself.
And that is karma, or inguo, cause and effect. Every single action, good or bad, creates a ripple that will eventually come back to you. It is the ultimate law of this cosmos. A good deed can help a demon ascend to immortality. A corrupt act can get a god fired from his job. It is the universe's ultimate system of checks and balances.
And that really leaves us with this final thought. In a world that's governed not by who you're born as, but by what you do, where everything is constantly changing and even the gods are held accountable, what does that tell us? Maybe the line between good and evil isn't a fixed wall at all, but just a path that anyone, or anything, can choose to walk.